Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my performance review of the Adidas Next Level 2020. So this shoe is going for 150 bucks. Thank you Adidas for reducing the price because the original Next Level was like 180 bucks or maybe like 200, I don't really remember, but I remember it being super freaking expensive for no reason. And it wasn't even the signature shoe. Like the Hardens, basically their biggest guy is like 140 bucks. The Dames, next biggest guy, is basically like 100 bucks. So I really didn't understand the pricing of that, but they lowered it, so thank you. I still don't know why it's super expensive, like 150 bucks. But you know, I guess they are using their best tech in the shoe. So yeah, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave links below. But let's get it started off with the traction. So for the traction, I was very surprised. They're using weird lines and with pods. There's like 3 pods, one in the forefoot, one in the midfoot, and one in the heel with this like black rubber. So the bite on an outdoor court is really nice. I had no issues with sliding out or anything, so I was very happy on that. Durability also seems really good. There's no ripping off or fraying off or anything. It's just your normal wear and tear. Obviously, if you're playing outdoors, rubber is gonna wear out, and that's basically what I have in the Next Level 2020s. So yeah, I was very happy with the performance of the outsole. And trying it on my wood floors, it seemed very good as well. So that is definitely an improvement over the original Next Levels, because the original Next Levels were very bad in my opinion. Alright, as far as the heel to toe transition goes, it wasn't the best. You have a nice rounded shape here in the heel, and then a nice curved shape here in the forefoot, kind of. You know, it's mostly flat, but then it definitely has more curve than the original Next Levels, which I really like. And you have a nice flex here in the forefoot, which makes the shoe overall feel very smooth. So I didn't really have an issue with like the flatter outsole. You know, I prefer like, you know, the Air Zoom BB NXT where it has like that crazy curve, or like the LeBron 16 with that like zoom unit that kind of protrudes out, and you have that kind of like rocking motion and it just keeps you on your toes. That's just my preference, of course, but they definitely improved on the Next Level 2020, which thank you Adidas, thank you so much. Also, another thing I forgot to mention is the outsole curvature. There is a slight bit of outsole curvature and it's very nice. And also you have a lot of the rubber coming up here on the medial side, so you have more grip when you're doing these types of movements. I don't know what it is, but a lot of companies are starting to do this. You know, like in the original Next Levels, it was just completely flat. You know, and when you're doing these types of movements, you would slip out a little bit, you know. Moving on to the cushioning is incredible. They're using full-length light strike. I really like it. One thing I would change about it though is the heel. Like here in the back of the heel, the rubber comes up and it cages the light strike, which, why did you guys do this? You know, this part I would like to have a little bit of compression, you know, but it's still nice. You have a nice compression in the heel. It's still bouncy. The forefoot is definitely more dead though. You don't feel like as much bounce and as much compression, of course, but you have a little bit of an underfoot cushioning sensation. Not that much though. I don't know what it is with Adidas. They use very stiff strobe boards for some reason. I feel like they should definitely soften it up. But nonetheless, you know, like I said, good subtle bounce in the heel. You have very good impact protection, especially on heel strikes. You feel pretty damn low to the ground. The heel is a little high up and the forefoot, it gets a lot lower. So you have a little bit of an offset. So the cushioning setup is definitely very nice. All right, moving on to the materials. They're using prime knit, I would say, or basically a full-on knit, and it's like a sock. I love it. And when I was playing in it, it just felt very comfortable. I don't really like these synthetic panels. They're very cheap. They crease up and stuff. But other than that, the knit material is very nice. One thing I would change though is that it's pretty thick though, and I would make the material here in the toe box area a little bit thinner. I guess I understand here in the ankle area and the midfoot, but personally for me, I would have liked it if they thinned it out here in the toe box. But you know, other than that, it's very nice. It doesn't feel like it's glued down or anything, and it's miles better than the original like Next Level, which they said they were using prime knit, but it didn't even feel like a knit. It felt like a cheaper, flimsier, like textile material or something, you know. But also another thing is the material isn't super stretchy, you know. Like this material here in the midfoot is stretchy, kind of like where the laces are supposed to be, but you have this really crazy underlying material, which is kind of like a crazy inner booty, and that doesn't stretch that much, so you don't really feel this knit like stretching over your foot that much. As far as the fit goes, the fit was a little disappointing for me, so it runs pretty damn long. So I would suggest going down half a size. But other than that, I mean, everything else was pretty good. There's not a lot of dead space here in the toe box area, and width-wise, I was good. I would say it's around normal. So the fit was okay. I mean, like, I don't mind a little bit of length as long as it's snug width-wise, and I guess snug in the toe box area. As for the midfoot, I didn't really have any issues. Like the original Next Level was pretty damn tight here in the midfoot area. Of course, the materials do stretch out, so it wasn't a huge issue while I was breaking it in and stuff, but I didn't really have that issue here in the Next Level 2020. But one thing is just watch out when you first get this shoe. Like the first 3 or 4 times, this shoe is going to be super freaking hard to put on and take off. And that's one thing that I hate about this laceless design, is that if they just had a tongue and some laces, it would have been super easy to put on, you know. But of course, the materials and like this like elastic here in the ankle area, it does break in and stretches out, so it gets a lot easier to slide the shoe on. But like the first time I got it, I was trying to take off this shoe and I kind of like strained my Achilles a little bit. That's how hard it was. Like I was pulling and it was super hard. So just a little tip to take it off. You want to pull this as hard as you can. Like pull this part and then just kind of like slide the shoe off, and it's a lot easier that way. All right, moving on to the support and lockdown, I had no issues. It was really good actually. Like I guessed, and of course like a lot of you guys can see, the foam comes up here in the midfoot. You have this crappy synthetic material, but it gives the material more support. So for lateral containment, my foot was locked in. It was not sliding out of the footbed or anything. And as far as the lateral stability goes, it's super nice. The bottom of the shoe is very flat, especially here in the forefoot, and it's super wide, you know, like Adidas always does. You know, the outsole and midsole does protrude out a lot here on the lateral side, so I felt laterally stable, and I had no issues with heel slippage or anything. You have crazy Achilles pillows, which feel very nice on the Achilles, so that felt really nice. And as far as the ankle support goes, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's the best I've ever felt, but I would say it's adequate. One thing though, like if you wear an ankle brace, I don't think you can fit it into this shoe. You might have a pretty hard time doing that. But you definitely do feel a little bit of ankle support. But if you look, it's a pretty flimsy material, and it's not like you have laces to tighten everything up. So the ankle support was okay. All right, moving on to the weight. This shoe's coming in at 12.6 ounces. Let's check the left pair. 12.59 ounces. Well, all right, they did a very good job on keeping the shoes basically the same weight. Some shoes have like a 0.3 ounce difference from the left to the right, which is insane, which says a little something on their quality control, right? But I guess they did a good job on this shoe. And yeah, it's pretty damn light. I don't know how it's that light. I would have guessed it would have been like 13 or something. Because of just like how it looks, you know, and I guess kind of like how it feels in hand. But like if you do this, the shoe does definitely feel light, and I feel like the light strike cushioning contributes to that a lot, because you know, if it was boots, I feel like it would have been like a good amount heavier. And this definitely is not the lightest and most minimal feeling shoe, because like I said, the material is pretty thick and you have like the foam protruding out a little bit, like bubbling a little bit, but it's definitely better than some of the other Adidas basketball shoes like the Dawn Issue 1, you know. And the Prime Knit, like having that sock like fit and feel on the shoe just makes the shoe feel so much more comfortable, and I really enjoyed that. And while I was playing in it, it's not a shoe that I was like worried about ever, you know. I just put it on and I just balled, and it was very comfortable, and I enjoyed playing in it. As far as the ventilation goes, no, this shoe is so damn hot. Like there's no airflow. This like, it's a knit, right? You would think it would wick away moisture and all that. Knits do, but you know, like I said, there's this crazy underlaying material, and it's pretty damn thick, you know. So I wouldn't say it's as thick as like the LeBrons, maybe a little bit thinner than that, but it's definitely not the thinnest knit I've ever felt. So yeah, I mean, your foot is gonna be very hot in the shoe, so just watch out for that. Moving on to the aesthetics, I'm not the biggest fan. I don't like how the shoe looks. Like, I don't like the placement of the Adidas logo. I don't like this thing either. This looks weird, you know. And I don't really like this ankle part, and the laceless look, I don't really like. I just like the look of laces, you know? It definitely did grow on me a little bit, but I still don't really like the aesthetics all too much. So tell us what you guys think of how this shoe looks down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, I was very surprised. I thought I wasn't gonna like it. You know, my first impressions were you know, but I got to playing in it and I really liked it. So the traction was good and the durability seems good as well. The cushioning was nice. The materials, it feels like a sock. Like I said, the first couple of times it was super hard to put on and take off, which I hated, but it's fairly easy now. I don't really have to worry about that anymore, and it's a very supportive shoe. I just miss laces. I wish Adidas would go away from this laceless like thing that they have going on. Like in the originals, that material stretched out and the fit just wasn't as good as it was, and you can't do anything about it. you don't have laces to tighten up the shoe. It's loose now, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like the same thing is gonna happen with this, you know? Even though there is an underlaying material and even though this knit is thick and it really didn't stretch out that much, I feel like over time it's gonna stretch out a little bit, and little by little adds up to a lot, and the fit just isn't gonna be as good as it once was, and you can't fix it. But other than that, I really enjoyed playing in it, and which was a pleasant surprise. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Just make sure to go down half a size and you should be good to go. And also, I feel like every position can play in it. It's a supportive shoe and you have a lot of cushioning, but it's not too soft or anything. And it's responsive enough so that guards can play in it, but also like soft enough so that, you know, big men can play in it, you know? So that about concludes my review on the Next Level 2020. Again, if you guys want to cop, I'll leave links below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.